1 hour, 9 o'clock, I'm off.
Yeah, Nick, tell him, Nigel.
What are you talking about, man? 1 hour and you're off, dude. Yo. Yo.
Blackopolypse.
Yeah, man. Blackopolypse, man.
Blackopolypse.
Yeah, man. So, like I was saying, I think personally, so I was just talking about put a video out today talking about, I don't think COVID is as easy to contract as they say it is. Simply because, in a nutshell, I was told I had to stay home for 7 days because I've been in direct contact with somebody and I was in very close contact. Let's leave it like that. I was in very close contact with this person. And, well, here I am, man, alive and kicking. So I don't know what they were talking about, man. I don't know. And nobody around me, and trust me, I'm extrovert, so I'm touchy, I'm feely, I'm hugging everybody. Like, yo, what's going on? I'm like one of these. I would be considered a super spreader. Yeah, I would be. I would be considered a super spreader. And nobody around me, nobody I know got sick. Nobody. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait a second.
It's you know, it's just strange, man. I mean, like I said to you earlier, you know, I think someone posted on that same post that their friend, his wife's a nurse. Every year she has to have a flu jab.
Yeah.
She got COVID. She was quarantined at home with the husband and the kids. None of the husband and the kids didn't get it. And then obviously, you know, the only factor there is she's had a flu jab. They haven't. So you then think to yourself, well, what's in the flu jab?
Yeah.
That might be reacting.
No, you don't want to know what's in the flu jab.
Well, I know what. Yeah, that's another story altogether. But what's in the flu jab that might react with COVID? Does that explain why they were saying about a certain age group?
Yeah, because old people always
birth.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna wait there. Let me do a search, man. What is in the flu vaccine?
Mate, don't read it because your eyes will water. Seriously,
isn't it just like a dose of the actual virus itself?
Well, yeah.
And it's not just that they put more than just that in there, man. They don't just put the virus in you. There's a whole heap of things going to that flu jab. Because
there's some nastiness in some of these.
That's what a vaccine's supposed to be.
Vaccine.
That's what a vaccine's supposed to be. What you got to think of though is they're giving you a vaccine for a flu which hasn't even struck yet, and they're putting that vaccine together every year, a brand new one for a flu that hasn't come yet. So I don't know.
But I mean,
wait a second.
There is a thing to think about with this though, because like you say, like with the sorry, I'm eating my food. That's why I'm blacked out here. But you know, with the flu, the actual general common cold, there's over 100 strains of it.
So that's why they can't cure a cold, and they're trying to cure a flu, and they can't. And I think they're pumping us too full of all these kind of new things that they're coming out with every year. Like, yeah, man, have this, man. You won't suffer as bad effects, but you'll still get it. But you just won't be as bad. But hold on a second. If you're going to give me something, I don't want to get it. No matter how bad it is.
I might not get it at all.
Look at this.
I think, you know, it's dodgy though, man. That story I said about a nurse, she'd had jabs, her son and her husband haven't. She got COVID in the same house. They didn't. What you found, Wayne?
They have something called formaldehyde. I guess that's
formaldehyde. You know what that was? That's a poison.
Yeah. They have that in a needle, man. Yeah, only small doses though. They actually stay
only small doses,
toxic and potentially lethal in high doses, man. So if you have like 4 or 5 of those.
So you've had the flu jab since the age of 55, and you're now 75, and you've been having that in your body every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't being funny. What are the long-term effects, Mr. Doctor? What's that? You haven't tested it yet? Oh. So I'm going to put a claim in on your estate, then you can make sure my kids go to grammar school.
Yeah. And then obviously they have the various strains of flu that exist: the Michigan strain, Hong Kong strain, Brisbane Phuket strains.
Mate, do you trust anything?
Foot flu, mouth flu.
Mate, I'm not being funny, right? If they're putting all of that in you every time you get a jab. I ain't being funny at all. What is the effect of all those things being mixed together in one syringe?
No idea, man. Some geezer puts.
Look, man, me nah get no needle. Not a bomb, but the only needle I'm going to get, mate, if I go to America and commit a very, very heinous crime, then I have to get put to death. I'm not having no needle. I'll give blood, but me now want no needle something there. You know then vaccine, no, sir. We don't get vaccine in Jamaica. We're still 105. No, me all right. I'm all right, mate. You can keep your medication. Oh, man. Keep that vaccine, mate. Keep it.
Stuff we got tomorrow.
How's Casey?
I don't know, man. He was there.
Did you scare him off?
No, I didn't even get bad him. I just saw him.
Who the hell, Casey?
Yeah, who's Casey, man?
Casey,
he thought he joined a private party. That's what it was. He's like, oops, wrong room, wrong keys.
He didn't want to get involved. Yeah, he was like, nah, sack this.
Nah, he said he was going to just listen in. Nothing before, like.
All right.
Hey, man, what's the crack for today, man? You can't sit there just researching, you know. Come on, man.
No, remember, I sent you guys. I said in the group. I said everyone pick 3 countries that they love and 3 countries that they hate, and we're gonna, try and see if we can find a common ground. This is actually. I just wanted it to be fun and light today. I'm in a bit of a downbeat. I'm in a bit of a. I'm not really happy, so I needed something light and joyful, man. So I want to talk about something that I like, which is countries around the world. Traveling. Yeah. So
we all share that, man.
Yeah. So how we'll do? We'll each do one each, obviously till 3, and then we'll do the ones, or we can do 1 good, 1 bad, or however you want to do it.
Does it have to be a place you've gone to already?
No, it could be any place. If you know about it and you think it would be a place you'd like to go to, then you can do like that, man.
Yeah, man. We'll jump in straight then. My turn.
Right. Go on inside. You can start, man. Sack it.
Only because I've loved this country since I was a child, and like from when I first heard about it when I was about 11. It was featured on the TV the other day, and I just think it's an amazing country in the South Pacific, Tuvalu. And the reason why I love this place is because it is literally about 3 feet or 3 meters above sea level. But yeah, it's
whoa! I shouldn't get flooded, man.
The island itself. I think there's a couple of islands, but the main island itself, the only one that's really habitable, it's so small that the airplane runway, basically airstrip, is the whole length of the island.
Okay.
That's how small this place is. And there's only a few people live here. Have a look on it, actually, Alstallio. And every night, what they do is everyone does their bits and bobs. Like if you can drive out, you can drive around the whole island in 15 minutes if you have a car.
Really?
So everyone just drives.
That's a plot of land, mate. That's not an island.
That's all it is. But if you step off that, you're in the sea. So that you're in an island, And that's
how do you spell it?
TUVALU. But let me just tell you this story about this. What I love about this place. So everybody just drives for fun. Actually, I'm going to come back on screen for this.
Have I got space? It sounds like it's too small for cars, man.
Yeah, so everyone just drives around for fun, and it literally just drives around the island because they've got nothing else to do. And then every single night on the airstrip, because it's gone quiet and they've got no flights coming in, everybody converses because it's the biggest natural place, like the biggest land where, because there's nothing else apart from the airstrip, apart from where like the houses are. So the whole community comes out, plays football, has meals, just like literally, it's such a communal place where you will always be with the entire population of that nation. Every single night.
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny you should say this, man, because I've just watched a documentary on this.
So what an amazing place and what a happy place, I think, which kind of fits into the theme of what Alstallio was saying.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on this. I was at my friend's house and the TV was on and I was like, what the hell is this place? And I have to go on a boat to another island to go to school and that. That's this place, isn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. The island, my school might be on, because I think it's 2 or 3 islands, but they're very small. So, like, there's one main one where this stuff is. It's so low as a land. Like, they reckon it, because of rising sea levels, they could lose Tuvalu in the near future if it carries on. They've been worried about it for about 50 years. But yeah, that was an amazing one. I might as well do my 3-1 here, quick time, because the others are not going to be too long. My second one is the Kingdom of Bhutan. Yeah. And the reason why I say the Kingdom of Bhutan which is basically Nigel with your confused screw face look. It's in the Himalayas.
It's like you picked the ones from random places that no one's ever heard of.
I'm heard of it.
There's a reason. There's a reason. So it's a mountain kingdom, basically. You know when you watched The Golden Child and you see him up there in like Tibet or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
That was probably Kathmandu. Like, it's around them areas, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I think the Top Gear boys did something like that. We're not one of them places, but yeah.
One, they've got the best flag for starters, hands down. It's one of the best flags in the world, the Kingdom of Bhutan. And secondly, their country. You know, we measure GDP. They measure gross national happiness.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
So that would be the reason why I'd pick them, because they literally value, and every single policy is about trying to bring more happiness. It's never about money. The whole country is not wired to money at all.
Do you want to live there? I want to go there.
Gross national happiness. So that was my second one. And then my third and final one, it has to be, of course, Alstallio, and I'm sure it's going to come up. It has to be Brazil.
Yeah.
But for me, it's because it's the natural raw beauty of the land, but also the people. And I'm going to go so far to say the women in particular, the black women, because I've never seen blackness and naturalness just celebrated so much, and for it to shine so bright as I've seen it in Brazil. Yeah. And I just think that's just the most beautiful thing.
That's true, man.
That's it.
That's really true. I don't know, man. Do you want to go for? Well, we did say 3 worst countries where you want to go, but actually, should we all go around for our best first? We'll go for our best.
Yeah.
Actually, we should have started off with our worst, man. Worst always better, innit? Start off with.
Happy, do a sandwich. Happy side, happy.
Yeah. Nigel, what you say, man? You want to take the order? You want me to go?
Well, mine ain't as exotic as yours, Simon. Bloody hell. You've dug out some names there. I mean, for me, Tavula, you know, I thought he was on about some song. I'm sure there's a song called Tavula. Tuvalu, Tabula. I'm looking at it on the map, man. Is that small? You can't even see it on Google, bloody Earth. You have to zoom right
amazing. I'll tell you what, it's an amazing. Like I said, I saw a documentary. I was with this girl and was chilling, and she turned the TV on. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And everyone was dancing. Had to get on a boat, and all the kids. And I was like, "What the hell is this place, man?" And
it was fantastic, mate. I mean, it's white sand. It's proper paradise, man.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, in this South Pacific area, man, I think that's one of these places where you probably find, like, especially African heritage. I know the people are kind of losing their, but they're still like pretty much black people in it. They're just like more like, I don't know if we would call them black or
mate. If they're not white, they're black.
Yeah, I mean they look black. Don't get me wrong; they're very dark skinned.
There's no distinction, mate. If the racists come across them and call them black, you wouldn't say, "Hey, you're from South Asia."
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You'd just be like, "You're black," so don't try and give them another colour, man.
Don't call me black.
I think that's how racists look at it. They don't see anything other than they're just black.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of these places in the South Pacific have a lot of African.
Yeah, man.
Old
hey,
African.
It's not even. I don't think it's even a mile wide in places.
Nah. Wow, 15 minutes all the way around.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking at Tuvalu still.
Yeah, it's a strip, mate. It's like you can walk from one side to the other, man.
That's the main island. Yeah, it's just literally a strip. If you see it and you have a look at it, it looks like a strip. And next to it, there's a bit of green.
Yeah. Hey, are you sure there's any roads?
I would love to go to a place like that where everyone seems happy. Like I say, everyone's congregating together.
Are you sure there's any roads?
Yeah.
The only thing with that place,
I can find the airfield, but I can't find no roads.
Well, these people driving around and said, drive around Tuvalu on maybe YouTube or something.
The only thing about that place.
Oh yeah, I can see the road now.
Yeah. Sorry, while I was watching the documentary, man, I didn't see no attractive women. I was like, oh my God. And I was thinking, man, that's your bunch you have to pick from, man.
Do you know what it is, bro? I'm gonna jump in straight away because
the gene pool is small, mate.
I'm not even gonna say that. You know what it is? Like, I think it's what we practice is attractive or not, innit? Polynesian women in general have a very specific look. So in general, they're usually, from what I've seen, more chunky.
Yeah,
they're usually a bit more chunky and everything, and they do. Obviously, they don't focus on like a load of makeup and dressing a certain way. Like it's just straight jeans and stuff. It's just the way they dress and things. I think there's not as much like they haven't been sexualized like we have over here. You know, I'm not saying they're not part of the world or anything, like they don't know Wagwan and everything, but I don't think they've been sexualized as much as we have. A lot of these islanders and stuff like that, because you probably feel the same if you went to Papua New Guinea, or you probably feel the same if you went to, you know, the Fiji Islands or any of the Solomon Islands.
The thing is, where, you know, you got to think where you live is where you live, and what you see is what you see. So if you were from Tuvalu, those women would be the most beautiful thing in the world to you.
Yep, that's true. They wouldn't care about you. They would say the same about us.
That's what I'm saying, man. So, and as for what you just said there, mate, it's a myth, because I'm looking at some pictures now, and
What? Wait. No.
Listen, let's not just debate on. Listen, we can't go to such a beautiful place, which is a happy thing, and then talk about how attractive their women are.
Well, hey, that's it was where you started that. You know,
I promise you now. But let me just promise you one thing, Alstallio. Let me promise you the one thing. In a place where there's going to be hardly any people, there's only one place to go. Imagine, my ex is here, you know, can we go somewhere? Like, literally, that one girl, she's taken, bro.
Yeah.
That one that you're into, she's gone. Like, she might like you, she might run off with you, but she's gone for now, you know what I mean? Because there's probably 15 men after her, 20, 30 men after her, and she's the only hot one who, like, you would find attractive, let's say, for instance, not the only hot one, but the one you would find attractive. So, yeah, you wouldn't go there to pool, but you'd go there to have I reckon it'd be the most amazing experience being there.
I'd love to go there.
You know, I'm looking at this picture.
When we're going?
You know, I'm looking at this picture of this one little girl, these little girls from Tuvalu. They look like my daughter, man. And then I start thinking to myself, man.
They will do at that age, because especially because your daughter had blonde hair as well, innit?
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, man. I got messed up genetics, man. I swear, I got messed up genetics.
We've all got a bit of Polynesian in us, I reckon. Now, I think.
Well, it's all African, isn't it? It's all like different. Because I'm reading this book, obviously.
I'll take you home, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading this book and he's explaining that everyone left and went all the way to, and this area of the world, the Polynesians and stuff, have still got quite a lot of the true African culture, because they've never really been touched.
Invaded. They've not been. They ended up in places that were classed as insignificant on a map.
Exactly.
Even places that are a lot bigger than that, say like the Fiji Islands, where it's a lot bigger. They wouldn't have messed around with the Fiji Islands when they've got a big old Australia around the corner and New Zealand. Or they're going to mess around with these little places, so people's heritage. I'm saying if there's like lost and hidden treasures on the earth, it will be in these little small islands that are dotted around the Pacific. Because in the South Pacific, people don't have any contemplation of the vastness of it. And the way to put it in context is, if you move Brazil, which is one of the most vast entities at all, and moved it across a bit more, you could probably fit another 2 before you get to fill the gap of that Pacific until you get around the other side. It's huge, the expanse of water. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. That's
you know what I mean? So, like, it's a lot of these countries are dotted. You know, you got certain ones that are kind of hug a bit closer to Australia and those sort of ones. And then you got the ones that are a bit further out, like the Easter Island and stuff like that, which is kind of going all the way around and getting more back towards like South America.
Do you know that the that island used to be got its independence from the UK in 1978?
They still kind of have stuff. I think they still have our monarch. I think so. Like Australia, they still chose to keep our monarch, I think. But I think it's
a 2 hour flight. 2 hour flight from Fiji and a 3 hour flight from Kiribati. And then it's halfway between Hawaii and Australia, right next to the equator. So temperatures are the same all year round. I'd love to go there. I think that's the kind of place you put on your bucket list, your dream list.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But,
you go in there.
Yeah, carry on. Do you want to finish?
Yeah, because you're just like, you're going to spend a few. The thing is, you could probably get there fairly cheap if you use charter flights and all that, and just jump on and change and this, that.
They have flights that go from New Zealand, I think it is. It's or somewhere like that.
So you'd have to kind of. I can't remember what they call it. A lot of the students do it when they travel around the world. They'll get a ticket, and it will be like multiple cities. So they have to, it's like a charter plane or something like that. But my friend went around the world. And it cost him.
You can have like a
£800, and he went flipping all around South America and over to bloody Australia. And
it's like the passes, isn't it? Around the world passes, man. I've seen one when I was a kid. I believe it was a cruise pass. I was always interested in going anywhere and getting out of where I lived and that. But So I used to look at these mad, weird and wonderful things. And remember when people read the paper, even kids when you was little, because there was nothing else to do. And then I found this thing, and it was like around the world thing, and it was like 12 months, £24,000. This is probably back in 1990s.
It weren't as much as that.
Yeah, well, you can get them for about 7,000, can't you? And you can literally get so many flights. You have to take them times and that on certain airlines.
Lots of transfers and changing planes and stuff. But you can get around. You can get around cheap, man, if you're prepared to do lots of changes.
Sorry, yeah, you can get these cheap flights as well, these Aeroflights and stuff. So you can definitely
Aeroflights, Russians.
Aeroflights.
Aeroflot, you on about the company Aeroflot?
No. I mean, you can get like Aeroflights, like
Aeroflights.
Yeah. And then that's how we got our first trip to Brazil. Actually, remember, I paid $198 for the flight to Brazil. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Which
man.
didn't end up saving me any money because I wanted to.
Especially when you consider that normally, if you was going to go to Jamaica and your ticket was £600, about £350 of that's actual tax.
Yeah. No.
I bought my mum a ticket a couple of years ago, and when she showed me the ticket, I was like, hold on, what's all this? Do you know it's tax? It's more than the actual flight.
Yeah. The flight's nothing. That's what an Aeroflight is. Aeroflight is the price of the flight without the tax on it. They somehow make a mistake. The system sends out the
They don't always commit to it, though, do they? Sometimes they'll say, no, we're not going to do it. Depends
on the flight, but in most cases you do get
what's it called?
Aeroflight, yeah. Flight. There's websites like flynows.com, secretflying.com, and in Germany I use Travel Deals. Yeah, but there's a couple of good flights.
I might go Ireland this weekend if I can find a £1 flight. You backside. You better off going to Ryanair, man, for that.
Yeah, man. But then they'll charge you for standing up in your own flipping urine or something, do you know what I mean? That's your urine there. That'll be €10.
He wanted to bring in charges to use the toilet, didn't he?
He wanted stand-up flights, didn't he? He wanted stand-up flights. He wanted to have like a football match where it was like...
He's nuts. What needs to happen is that this man,
Michael O'Reilly,
his family need to be treated the way that he wants to treat other people, then his mind will fix. You were like, oh, maybe not. Anyway, my 3 countries...
Okay.
In no particular order. And to be fair, 2 of them are based on actual experience. First one's Bali.
I knew it was going to come. Great choice.
I feel that I only scratched the batty-hole of it in terms of what can be seen and done there. And it's probably a place where if I had 20 grand on my laptop, I could get a long enough visa. I'd do 3-6 months out there and just travel around.
That's easy, dude. That's absolutely easy to do.
That's a question really quickly. Sorry, because I'm obsessed with Bali. I always wanted to go. But one thing I never really looked on a map, is it a big place or is it quite a small place?
It's Indonesia, Giza.
I know it's Indonesia, but it's an island.
In terms of as an island, yeah, I mean... What it is, it's very busy. Obviously, you guys have been Thailand and places like that. So, obviously, there's scooters everywhere. When you go into the main cities, it's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? Where we were probably just below halfway down, maybe a little bit more. But there was a lot of people in the place. In terms of big, well, people go there and travel, don't they? So when they're doing their backpacking and that, Bali's one of the places they go and lose 3, 6, 9, 12.
No, Australians there as well.
Yeah. Well, for Australians, Bali's like their Benidorm to the English.
Yeah.
So they go there. They don't respect Bali the same way we don't really respect Benidorm because like full of Aussies, full of English. So they treat it with a certain disdain. Some of them do, but yeah, man, I like it. The people, I think. In terms of going around the world and being treated nice and feeling like, not about the money, just about the human, those people there, man, seriously, if you didn't give them any tips, they'd still love you. Just talking to you, they when you're talking to them, man, they almost look at you like they're honoured. Oh, yes, sir. And it just felt, to be fair, it felt nice to be a man of colour in that country. Even though I've never had any problems anywhere else, it was almost like, it just felt good to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Good food.
Right about this, Alstallio. This is warming my cockles, man. I swear this feels nice listening to this, man.
It was, Yeah, it was just nice. The people, man. The people are dread. You know what I mean? For once, there's none of his hand out. You go like Jamaica, and I was like, yo, man, well, look at him, look at. You go certain countries like their hands out. There, man, their hands was in their pockets. They wanted to serve, and then if they were privileged enough for you to say, well, hang on to this, that, you know, it wasn't like an assumption. It was like oh, thank you. You know what I mean? So, man, in fact, we ended up giving away so much money on our last 2 days because we had loads of money left over. I thought, rather than bring it back, I have this tip. I was giving people tips, man, which was like a week's wages and stuff. They're like, oh, Mr. Nigel, you come back next year. I'm like, yeah, man, of course.
Hey, I'm going there, man.
Bali, I think they're very funny about trying to settle there as a foreign national. You have got to give money to a Balinese for him to buy land for you. And if you do go there, you get a short visa, but you've got to get out of the country because they will literally lock you up.
Really?
If you outstay your You got to go. You can go to the country one day and then come back. But you got to. If that visa runs out, you got to come out. They'll have you and they'll lock you up and say, "Yo, come on, what's that?"
Hey, you don't want to spend prison time there, man.
The second place again for the same reason. Cuba again. Cuba just scratch the arse cheek of Cuba. We stayed in a place called Cayo Coco. Beautiful. It's almost like a purpose-built part of. It's like the tourist part that they've built for Cuba. So it's actually on the other side of the island. Now, we were going to go to Havana, but I wasn't going to put my wife through a 10-hour road trip. I just thought it's just not fair. She's come for sun. She ain't doing no road trip. But my friend did go with his wife, and he said it was absolutely amazing. So I'd like to go back to Cuba. Again, will I live there? No, I'll do 6 months, though, with my laptop. And then the other place I want to go to is New Zealand.
Oh, my God. Typical
place.
It's a beautiful place, but so typical.
Why is that typical?
Yeah, because everyone look. You got Australia, huge country. In it.
I didn't say Australia.
But you got Australia. You got right next to Australia is New Zealand. And everyone sees
it's not even next. You know how much distance is between the two countries?
Yeah, wow. I mean, that would be the logical next step if you was in Australia.
But no, the thing for me for New Zealand, and it purely is down to Lord of the Rings. I want to see some of those vistas. I want to see some of them vistas, man. Some of them landscapes. I'd love to go and just go up into them mountains and look down and say, yeah. But I know you can get the same in Canada.
You got Ireland, man.
America. You got the
Ireland's the same.
But it's a whole different part of the world thing. Ireland, for me, going to Ireland is almost like being in England.
No, and certain flowers, and I know it sounds mad, but certain flowers and certain things you're only going to see in the mountains of New Zealand and stuff. Yeah. And to be honest, like you can say about Scotland or Ireland or this, but the truth is like just some of the mad outdoor things you can do in New Zealand, and it's just exceptional, man. Like it's just literally exceptional. And I kind of get what Alstallio is saying when he's going, yeah, maybe Australia as well. Obviously, Australia's huge; it's next door.
I ain't bothered about Australia.
I actually am. I do want to go to Australia, but I'll tell you the thing is, like Australia's kind of like one of them ones where it's like
it's all racist over there.
The internet came out. And there's too much where, you know why you're going to New Zealand. You're going to see this breathtaking scenery and maybe do some outdoorsy stuff. It's going to be like if you went to maybe Cumbria or you went to Scotland or something. You're probably going to do similar things. Whereas in Australia, what you're going to do, you're going to go to see Uluru, you're going to go to Alice Springs, you're going to go stay in Sydney, you're going to go to the north of the country, you're going to go to Melbourne, you're going to Auckland, not Auckland, that's New Zealand, but all these places, is that what you're going to do? Whereas in New Zealand, you might go into to Auckland or Wellington or somewhere like that, but you're most likely going to be going to these really beautiful, scenic, majestic,
and be on your own, man,
stunning landscapes that you won't see like that. Like next year, I'm going to Romania with a driver at my company on this Trans-Gregarian highway. The one that was on Top Gear and this mad road that is like in the middle of the mountains, and it's like one of the best driving roads in the world. Well, we're going there in the 3 months in the summer that it's open, and it's for that amazing scenery. Like where when you're there, you'd almost have to slap yourself to tell yourself that you're actually there. It's that much of like
once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime view for your eyes, isn't it? Because you can go on the internet, you can type anything in, you can see whatever you want to see, but there's nothing beats being there and seeing it with these two people and saying, I've seen that, I've felt that air, I stepped out my van and stood on the highway and looked down that mountain valley, man, and I saw the world, I saw life, I saw nature. So we can get that anywhere really, but I think in terms of like, if I was going to choose somewhere, I mean, I could have said Hawaii, Toga. I'd like to go to Toga. I don't know why. I just would. But these are places which are far. They're like, yeah. It's like my wife loves Dubai. I think Dubai is tacky. You know what I mean? But she loves it. Well, I think it's just full of.
I wouldn't like Dubai, but I wouldn't like
Playboys.
I wouldn't like Las Vegas either.
Nah, I don't. Them places don't appeal to me. It's like, well, if I'm gonna go, I'd rather go Blackpool and go and waste some money in an arcade or something. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, my wife likes Dubai. I think she just likes the splendor of it. But I think they're posers, man. I just think they're all posers, man. But what I will say about Dubai, which I did like when I went out there, is that my brothers seem equal out there. So when I'm going around and that, I'm seeing people of colour, man, and they got status. They seem to be doing what they need to do, and no one's going, oh, I mean, they're getting on, man. So for me, it's like, I did like that, even though a lot of expats go there as well. But I like the colour. I said, I like the colour there. I was like, oh, I was like, because for me, Dubai, I thought it was going to be one, like a glorified Spain. It's like, oh, I'm alive, the lights, and all that. But the reality is, obviously, they can't do that upon road because they'll get locked up and whipped. And it's there's a lot of colour there, man. So I did like that.
Yeah, I like them areas in the Middle East because you think when you look at the TV, they're showing these light skinned people. When you go there, you're like, wait there,
pure black is
darker than me.
There's a lot of black people in these places.
Oh
man,
man,
Arabs. But it's like everything else that we were talking just the other week when we were talking about skin bleaching and that appeal to be white, because that exists in Arab countries just as much as it does anywhere else. You know what I mean? It may be more to do with makeup in the Arab countries. It could be skin bleaching, but there's a lot of people. There's still this glorification of the lighter. You know, the lighter is better. Still, that I think is worldwide. I think it transcends worldwide. But like I'm like you, Nigel. I wouldn't give a two hoots about Dubai. I'd probably be taken back by, like, say, the splendor of the place or something. But after that, you know, that's like a shiny. When a new coin comes out, you know, you're like, wow, look how shiny my coin is, man. Look how nice this is. And then 2 weeks later, it's tatty in your pocket, and you don't even, you know.
Once you've seen a 7-star hotel that they've told you how much it costs per night, and you think only fools would pay that, he loses all his stuff. My cousin Jermaine, Heartless, they go out there twice a year and play gigs out there and that. But you know what I mean? I think for me, the image they give is it's two countries in one. So you've got the part you don't see, which is where all the real Emirates people live, where there ain't all this splendour and this, that, and the other. And then you've got, you know, Dubai, the flashy city with all the investment from the Western world and hotels and money and private yachts and this, that, and the other. To me, it's like Monaco, isn't it? France, and then you go to one part of France, and everyone's broke pockets. So it's all false, man.
We've seen this, like, you'd never believe in Brazil. I don't know if
mate, Brazil's a corrupt place.
It was in Sao Paulo, bro. Listen to this, yo. Me and when we were in Sao Paulo, I'm sure it was in Sao Paulo, and we just got walking down this road, and then it became really, like, it was gated in it, but there was like a homeless guy on the street. Literally just before, like, it's like you get to not even a junction, bro. It was like, well, it was, but you don't even have to cross the road. It was like Brook Street, Bel Air. That's what it was like, yeah. And then just as we was looking at this homeless guy who was literally on the street, he had a guy's helicopter landing onto his pad, onto his yard and everything like that, and his people, like, you know what I mean, walking with him as he's getting, like, do you remember this guy, Wayne? And he's literally had his helicopter come down, and I was like, what? And then we're looking at all these gated houses and people there, the armed guards out there with their guns and everything. I was thinking, wow, like, just the contrast was on the same street.
Yeah, it's horrible to see, man. And
yeah, it is.
You know, I know you can't solve all the world's ills, but that's just, to me, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Actually,
everyone should have enough. But anyway, it's another story. So come, Wayne, what's your three?
Saying that, just quickly honour mention for Brazil. I'm not actually going to put Brazil in my list now because I was going to, but I thought, I've been to Brazil, I've done Brazil, and it's a place I want to live. Everyone knows I'm going to Brazil at some point. I'm not going to put Brazil in my list. I'm going to change it. We did meet a guy though in Brazil who's actually, we're still in contact with him. He's a good friend of ours. He's becoming a good friend of ours. He's like pretty much minted. He's got his driver and everything, man. He lives in Sao Paulo, man. Like, his house is behind like gates and that, and you go in there. It's like a flat. He's got his maid and everything. I'm like, what are you in, man? What are you doing? He's obviously a lawyer for the Chinese, is it the embassy of China? He's a lawyer for the Chinese embassy, man. And he's making it. He's minted. Trust me. Every time he's always flying back and forth. I always see him in Germany at the top. Stops in like the Blackhead hotel. It's like a 5-star hotel in Frankfurt, man. He stops in there every time he comes. I'm like, yo, you are mint.
Does he call you though and say, come now, let's have a few
He always calls me and tells us to come get some, like, come for dinner and stuff. Like, Frankfurt's so far away, man, and I gotta work a lot. So.
What? It's the train, man.
Yeah, I know, but for food.
He's just gonna give you food, man. It's gonna be like, right, what do you want to do now?
You don't know about schmoozing, Nigel. You don't know about schmoozing.
Hey, let's fly to England, brother. Yeah, man, I'll hire a jet. Yeah, man, let's do it. Mate, come on, man.
All right. I ain't doing that for Yorkshire pudding.
I really fancy a boating now. What's one of those where you can only get them in Birmingham? Hey, let's fly there, man. Come on, hire a jet.
Yeah. All right, my 3 countries, I would say. First of all, in no particular order, I'm sorry, I just love Japan. I know Japan is, I don't know why, man. I don't even know why, but like you said, it's the same with what you said about Bali. The respect they have for humans is like, oh my God. Like the one woman who was bowing to me and I was like, okay, you can stand up now. And I was looking and she wouldn't move and I was like, you know, I'm black, right? You know, no one stands for us, man. We're the enemies of the world, man. You don't have to bow. You can bow to everybody else, the white folks, and you don't bow to... I was like, whoa, but she bowed, man. And everyone was like really respectful. I was like, yo, so Japan is like, there's something about Japan.
They said a hold up, bro. They said a hold up. You don't know.
How are you going to take your money? Look, keep the money in your pocket. Yeah. She was, I mean, Japan is such a nice country. I don't even know why, man. But once you go to Japan, when you leave, you take a piece with you, or at least you stay in Japan, and that's it. So Japan's a place I love. Hawaii, we all got something for the Pacifics in it. Hawaii, I'm sorry, man. If you want to go, the first place I ever felt warm seawater was in Hawaii. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I went in. The first thing I was like, it's warm. The water's warm. And I'm jumping in.
Greece, bro, you'll feel it in Greece the same way.
But this is
Jamaica, man.
Well, this was because they got volcanic, they got thermal.
Yes.
The whole volcano. Yeah, so like it's proper water. It's like 30. It must be like 35 degrees or something. Heat in water. I was like, yo, I was chilling, and obviously it's hot there anyway. So, Hawaii, the food is great. It's just such a nice place, and you can drive around. I was in Waikiki, so you can drive around the island. But there's 5 islands, obviously, where you can keep go.
When did you go there?
I mean, it was 2008 or 2009.
I remember when you was there, man.
And the last place.
To Miami just before, innit?
What's that?
You went to Miami just before, didn't you? Then went to
Hawaii. Not Miami. I was in California. I was in San Francisco. I did Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Hawaii. I did them together over 2.5 weeks. But the year before, I was in Los Angeles. I stayed there for a month, man. I went to Los Angeles.
Where was I? What was I doing?
Dude, I invited you, and you was like,
"Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
Don't even remind me of that guy.
That is exactly what you said. I said, dude, I'm going to California. I said,
he's gone.
And you was like, oh yeah, I want to come, man, California. I was like, you ain't coming, man. You got a girl. He was like, nah, but it's California. You know, I was like, you ain't coming. No, so I was on the plane, looked to the left.
What did you do in California for a month, man, or LA or whatever?
Well, I went to this music conference, Taxi Music, shameless plug. And then I ended up just like staying there. I met a guy there and he was like, yeah, man, come and hang with me. So we went there and went to this proper ghetto party, man, because he was trying to get some drugs and that. and then, like, obviously the geezer already
Los Angeles, you're getting drugs. You don't even smoke.
No, he was going for drugs and I was driving this car.
And taking you and you're drinking milk in this side or something.
Yo, and when we went into this house, it was like one of these proper, like in Menace to Society or like one of these films.
Yeah.
Like it was all black and that. And the geezer was like, yo, you police. I was like, I ain't police, man. So yo, show me your passport. And I had to show him my passport. And he patted me down, man. He was like, yeah, man, all right, man. Yeah, go in, man. I was like,
I'd have been on the first bloody plane home.
Yeah, I wasn't scared at all, man. I was like, yo, these are my people.
Okay, Brummy police, do you think's rocking up in LA South Central?
Yeah. Yo, I was literally in South. I was in proper. These guys had afro combs in their hair and stuff, man. I was like, yo,
don't mess with a guy with an afro comb, dude.
Nah. Everyone keeps telling me to put an afro comb in my hair.
Is it Carrot Top?
No, not him, man. So yeah, I went in there and it was chilling, man. Then I went down to Santa Barbara. It was worlds apart, really. We drove to Santa Barbara after. He was out. And I spent 2 weeks at his place. And I was like visiting all the Santa Barbara. It was so nice. That's where Oprah Winfrey lives, isn't it? And he was actually friends with Oprah Winfrey. He was like, yeah, come and I'll take you to meet Oprah Winfrey, but he was out, man. So I never got to meet her. But whatever, man. Sack it. And then he was like, basically, I should stay there because I was like, I've always wanted to live here. And he was like, you can stay here with me if you want. No problem. He was really nice. He wasn't like that. He wasn't fruity, but he was proper. He was proper.
You say it was fruity. You know what? He sounds like he sounds like he was lonely though.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, he was nice. He was a nice guy, man. He was a nice guy. You know, I'm still in contact with him anyway, and I'm always like, I'm gonna come back over. But
we can find out the real truth then about when you stayed.
Well, I mean, just want to compliment Nigel on something. You've got very nice businessman posture there, man.
Yeah.
I'll lean back. Let me share.
Any problem you have?
Okay, and last place, I'm not like you guys, man. I'm not a sellout. And the last place I will go would be Madagascar. I have to go to Madagascar. This will be the place.
Why? I don't understand sellout. What do you mean?
You guys, none of you guys said anywhere in Africa, man. You guys are going to African countries, man. Yo,
I'm going to Kenya, bro. We're going to Kenya. What you all about?
The thing is, to be fair, I think with Africa, I would have went to Mozambique, Namibia, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. I would go to any Egypt, Ethiopia. I would go to any of them countries right now in a heartbeat. Now. In fact, they're like the countries that are in the
Zambia,
next on the
South
list.
Africa. I'll go to all of these places, man.
Yep.
And now the next one on the list. Malawi got the happiest people in Africa.
Chimbuzi. Yeah, Madagascar's that country's just so great, and you've got like, do you know you have 98% of the variety of wildlife in I think it's about 98% of the
world.
Yeah, of the whole world. So when you go to Mozambique, you're going to see some ish, man. Really. So that would be my 3 places, and as soon as I get the chance, like I was trying to go to Madagascar 2 years ago, but I just couldn't find the flights, man. They're expensive. You know,
yeah, I know, $1,000 in it always.
Yeah, they're expensive, but sometimes if you look at these Aeroflights, man, sometimes you can find for 500 or something.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, Si, we'll go back to you, man. The 3 worst countries, man, you would definitely never be seen in.
Okay, and I know that you had words about this a few years ago when an opportunity came up for you to work there, man. Saudi Arabia.
I don't think it's as bad as you think, though, man.
It's not about what they stand for as a country, man. These people are carrying out executions before 9 a.m. in the morning, and they've only just recently stopped doing, executing minors.
Mm.
And the amount of things that they will kill you for could be stupid little disputes. It could be political. It could be, persistent theft. It could be so many different things. And, to chop your head off with a sword before 9 o'clock in the morning in front of onlookers, and children are allowed to be there and everything like that. I just think it's really bad. The human rights fences are really bad. It's not. I've got nothing against like strict Islamic code, because I think if you live in that society and it works for you, then great. But I think once it starts to oppress and stop people from being able to live with any kind of freedom, then so yeah, for me, Saudi Arabia's right up there for me. It's just a matter of principle. I wouldn't be seen dead in the place. Not to say that I don't think there's wondrous things for other people to see there, but it's a moral thing for me. Okay. And that leads me on to number 2, even though it's mad because these people actually kill more people in capital punishment than Saudi Arabia do, and it's China. But there is things I would love to see about China. My problem with China to me is the living embodiment of Trump, but on the other side of the world. So it's like this. What's that trademark? I mean, what's that you've got? A trademark on. Oh, Mini Cooper. Now we'll make it and call it the Minky Cookie, man, and it'll look just like the Mini Cooper and everything. You know what I mean? But now the main reason for me is that Chinese dog festival, man. It sticks in it's mad because China's so vast that for the majority of China, even though a lot of people in Southeast Asia eat dogs and stuff like that,
they're not friendly either, man. In China,
that one particular festival happens in one particular place, and it's all about trying to torture the dogs to get a better flavour of meat. So again, for that reason, I don't really want to be seen dead in China. But there's many places I want to go, like Taiwan and Singapore. So I'm a hypocrite. So, you know what I mean? It's like I feel I cry if I see a cattle truck, you know what I mean, when I'm at the services as a truck driver, and then I go in and order a beef burger. So
I was going to say you're vegan.
No, I'm a hypocrite.
Same thing.
Yeah, well, you know, we that's the beauty of life, man. We get to be honest about the truth, because it is. I literally do cry if I see a cattle truck and I see all these cows looking at me on the services. But I literally
Simon, save us.
Yeah.
Move over.
It's the weirdest thing. So they're two of my countries. Another country, it's not I can't stand it, but I just it's Switzerland, man. I find the Swiss to be very boring, and I think you've got one of the most amazing countries ever. And all you do going, yeah, we need to put some red tape around here. You can't drive through here today. You can't do this. No, loud engines. No loud engines. Loud noise. No, you want to change your building. You're not changing your building. It's literally the most authoritarian. It's like having an OCD person who's like a super clean person being in control of your life. And that's what I think Switzerland is. It's a stunning place and everything like that. But I feel like if you had New Zealand, but it was given to the Dutch, I think it'd be the coolest place on earth, man.
Yeah.
Not New Zealand, Switzerland was given to the Dutch. I think it'd be the coolest place on earth because it's such a majestic place and everything like that. And I think there's so much about it. Swiss chocolate, you got these mountain places, drinking some
definitely scenic. Got some really nice places, man.
Really things that, but I find I've met quite a few Swiss people. I've met a lot of Austrian people, and Austrian people are funny Swiss people. I'm really sorry. Listen, I'm sure there's some really funny ones out there, man, but I haven't met you yet, man. And I've met a load of you guys, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's me. I'm going to be been hated in Switzerland now.
Yeah, that's it.
I struggle with this one. And to be fair, I'm going to jump on probably at least two of what Simon said. I think Saudi Arabia, for me, it's again another hypocritical country. I think the way, if you look at 9/11 and the atrocities which were committed, and from what I gather, I think there's about 6 of them who were from Saudi Arabia, but we went and bombed Afghanistan.
And Iraq.
We turn a blind eye to the murder, the death penalty they do, the things they've been doing because they spend lots of money on guns.
And we're the second biggest arms dealers in the world.
I know we are. And this is the thing, and this is why when that guy got killed in Turkey by the secret army, who the leader of Saudi Arabia said he knew nothing about, and the world was like, tut, well, we're going to have an inquiry and an investigation, and heads will roll. And the reality is nothing happened. They got a few scapegoats who, said they were the leaders, but that they couldn't have done what they did without some proper authority to do what they did. So for me, it's not a place I want to go to. I think they're hypocritical. They want to practice all of this Islamic strict code, but then they're happy to come to London and get pissed in clubs and have prostitutes and do all the things that they say that you shouldn't do. So for me, I'm not saying all of them, but in terms of the view they give me of their world, it's a very hypocritical world. And they're only rich because of oil. I can't wait for oil to no longer have any value, because then you'll see what are you guys actually offering then. Yeah. Second one, I'm like you, Simon. China for me, not so much for dogs. I think so much the way they treat their people as well. I mean, you've heard of the Uyghur Muslims.
The Uyghurs, man.
We're starting to hear more and more about what's going on there. And I think as a country, they're just Russia. They're just another Soviet Union. We will tell you what to do. If you say anything that we don't agree with, we will lock you up. The sky is blue. We don't want it to be blue. It's bluish. You're locked up. Grass is green. No, it isn't. It's greenish. You're locked up. It is that petty. They're just going in there, but they're spending lots of money, loading debt on a lot of poor countries already, and saying, "Yeah, man, we'll build your roads, but we want access to this, or we want access to that, or we." So, countries are getting into bed with China, thinking, "Yeah, man, our infrastructure is going to be great," but now that it's time to pay, these countries ain't got the money. What are the Chinese going to do about it? I don't know. And the third place, now, this is a difficult one for me. It's not difficult. It's just that, I've never really ever had a hankering to go to America.
What? Dude, man, you can't put America in there, man. You can't put America. Listen, hear me out. So, America for me, right? America!
America for me, right, it's the most negative picture of life as a person of colour that I could ever think of. And I know, obviously,
Probably, yeah.
you only see the worst bits on TV and that, and there's lots of black film producers. You know, there's lots
Successful
of black
people,
millionaires in America.
Even black middle class.
But you know, growing up in the 70s and watching Roots and all them things, even though I didn't actually understand the depth what BLM were going to when it happened, and I had to go do some more reading, I've always looked at America as a place that if you're in the wrong part, drive straight through, don't get out of your car. You know, I can't think of anywhere else in the world other than a war zone. You know, I've actually had white Americans say that to me. Oh, if you're the wrong color, you don't want to go down there. You drive straight through there. You know what I mean? What? This is a civilized superpower, richest country in the world, and they've got more poverty than bloody some of the small islands. Nah, it don't appeal to me. It's just big. It's brash. And I think the whole thing is based on this false lie that their country is superior in some way. Yeah, you know, a lot of technology comes out of there, films, Hollywood, all the glamour. It's also where a lot of racism's come from. It's also where racism has been magnified. It's also where racism has been voted into politics. And even the people who've come into power and said, yeah, man, we're going to change everything, have just made it worse. So for me, you know, I wouldn't want to go there because I wouldn't want to have any money off me. Will I go there? I probably will end up going there at some point before I'm dead, but it will be, you know, at the bottom of my list as a choice. Yeah, I'd like to do. I'm trying to think where I'd like to do.
You have to
maybe
do big
Florida. Maybe Florida, possibly, but maybe New Orleans. Maybe go to the New Orleans Festival, Carnival, whatever, Mardi Gras. But I mean, again, the wife wants to go there, but you know, she's got an aunt in Las Vegas who we could go and stay with. But again, it's one of those. It's like, what do you want to go to Las Vegas?
I'm like,
yeah, so that's free. Saudi Arabia, China, and USA, and I think they've made a big mistake with their voting. They are only ever going to be represented by two parties who don't represent them, who don't represent the people anyway. The fact that you don't see any other parties come through, Green parties, even Bernie Sanders, you know, someone different, they can't have it. It seems like he's got to have his possession of the right person who fits at that moment in time. Obama was a freak accident, but even Obama disappoints because he didn't actually do that much. He could have solved some of this shit that's going on now. He could have.
But you know the thing is with Obama, he tried to bed in, and being the first black president, he tried to bed in, and then he lost. Let me just say this though, like, from my point of view, Obama wanted to do this thing where he obviously got in. He wanted to not.
He had two terms. He had 2 terms, didn't he?
I know what you're saying. Let me say this though, like, because I think
don't make excuses for him, brother. Don't make excuses.
No, I don't want to make excuses, but I want to try and just show people, obviously at home who don't know, like the situation that you face. Obviously, when you come in as the first black president ever, you got a lot of eyes on you. And to be honest, what he should have done is came in with the arrogance. Trump came in with like, listen, this could be our first and last time.
I don't think he needed to have the arrogance though, because the thing is, he could have made a statement, and a loud and proud statement, and said, "This shit's going to stop."
Well, that's what I was stop. That's what I was about to say.
He didn't do it. He didn't even use any of his power to go into some of these states where they're saying, well, we don't care about your black people. He didn't go down there and say, yeah, man, I'm the president, you must show some respect to me, because I follow your bomb clock money. You know what I mean? Yeah. He didn't use any of that. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm a great statesman, and I can talk, and I'm a great talker, and I can make you all laugh. But guess what? I ain't got no power. So if you ain't got no power, why are you flying around the world making all these peace deals with all these people? At the same time, you're pissing off Russia, and you've got no reason to piss off Russia because they ain't got no problem with you as a black man. You know what I mean? And then your black people are getting killed left, right, and centre. He's like, oh well, this is sad, man. We got to change this. Change it then. Change it. Yeah, waste of time, mate. Obama, yeah. I think the thing with Obama is black people saw him as a saviour, and in reality, he was just another politician.
All right, I'm just going to say this before we close, though. What I think happened, and I do agree with you, Nigel. This is what I was trying to say to you. That I just want to get this out. That if he would have came in the way Trump did, where Trump goes, right, I'm not a politician, so I'm going to try and change everything the way I think it should be made better. Obama should have done that, but from a black perspective, innit? Like, this is the way politics has worked. This is how I'm going to change it. There might only be me ever. And he should have come in with that arrogance. The problem is that Obama is a moderate centrist, isn't he? So he is all about the continuation in just the way that he thinks. You know what I mean? I
hate all these political terms, you know, moderate, centrist, and leftist.
He's a person, like, you know, the way things have been, like, what I mean by this then, is the way things have been run already, the status quo.
Basically, he had no backbone. Just say that.
Oh, let me just
don't talk about
it. I want to finish up mine. Let's finish up because I want to finish my last three. We're running over a little bit.
All right. What I'm saying is, forget the term and that. What I'm saying is, he was all about the continuation of what already exists in it. Like, that's how his ideology was, isn't it? And that's a shame.
So black people who stay oppressed.
Please, bro.
Wait, Nigel, wait.
I'm going to try this one more time, bro. I'm going to give up. Yeah. I just want to say one last thing, and I'm not even getting to it yet. Like I say, continuation, blah, blah, blah. That's what he wanted to do. He just wanted to carry on as he was, and that's the problem for us as a black person. We needed a reformer. We didn't have a reformer yet. And then secondly, the problem that he had is he wanted a bed in. He didn't want to rock the boat straight away when he should have come in and rocked the boat, because what happened is he lost his power because of the Senate. He lost the Senate. That is the decision-making arm of government. Congress introduces laws. Senate chooses what laws get discussed, and then if they're going to be passed.
I understand. I understand all that.
He wouldn't let you put anything in there. But I'm saying a lot of people at home might not. A lot of people at home might not.
And I understand that. It's like the House of Lords over here when they say we're going to do this. But as a vocal supporter of the struggle, I didn't hear him.
Everyone was waiting for him. Everybody was waiting for him. He was like a bus that never arrived.
Medicare. Mate, listen, man. The man could have done
a lot. He did a lot because he got his position on Medicare. He got it to where.
Well, I think. Okay. Let me position it another way. From a black man from a different country looking in, I can't see what he did. So maybe if I was American and I was there and I was living the pain, maybe I could. But as a black man looking across there,
one thing. When you talk about what he could have done, you're right. That's why. Because it doesn't matter who comes in it. Like, you want somebody now. Look, we can either go, okay, what we got is good enough.
That's why. You know what I mean?
And he didn't shake the tree.
That's why Trump got in.
Because no one was shaking the tree. Nobody's shaking the tree.
But Trump's just as toothless as the rest of them. He's just as useless as the rest of them anyway. Yeah. He's all bluster and fluster and hot air. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, America to me, man, it's like, if I win it in a holiday, I might sell it, man.
Anyway, let me do my last three, man. The worst three, because we're going over. I know you wanted to leave it in 1 hour, man. Look, we're going over again.
We didn't start till 5 past. Are you all right?
Okay. Nice. All right. So my worst country is, first I would say Russia. I'm never going to Russia. The thing is, it kind of goes against my whole belief system because there's kind of hot girls in Russia. And that's probably the only reason I want to go. And me as a melanated individual, I'm pretty sure I would have favors.
Can I just say something to you?
What's that?
There's a whole heap of colour in Russia, you know.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Mate,
if you go
to the big cities in Moscow's, your Petersburgs and that, they're popular, like they're cosmopolitan, mate, like London. You know how many Africans are in Russia? A whole heap.
Yeah, they're getting killed up in there, man.
They're not all getting killed.
Oh, man. Maybe not all. I'm sure it's like there's all
obviously there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on in England right now. There's stuff going on in Germany right now.
That's true. You know what I mean? They go after people like the Uzbekis and the Turkmenistan and the Kurds.
And the worst thing is, there's a section of Russians who come from South Russia who look Chinese, and even they get stick from Russians. They're actually Russians. Like,
yeah. Mongolians, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Central Asian countries and Central Asian countries.
So Russia, but to me, one thing is I think I would have to go there in just a small window when it's warm, like summer months. Because if you miss those windows, it's frosty, and you know me, I don't do well with cold, man. So I ain't going to Russia.
For the cold.
Yeah, I ain't going to Russia. 2, I hate France. I think French people are idiots. Yeah, arrogant.
Brazil using the French feminists.
Yeah, this is one example. But I've been to France and one person kicked me once, and I was like, because I was walking in the and have you ever tried to drive around the Arc de Triomphe?
Kicked you?
He kicked me. Like I was in the shopping, doing shopping there, and I was walking, and all of that, someone kicked my shoe. I was like, I turned around, I was like, "You're lucky I'm with my." I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and the parents. I was like, "You're lucky."
He kicked you. What do you mean he kicked you?
Yeah, I don't know. I was probably too slow walking. I don't know. I don't know. He just kicked me. I was like, yo, did you get? And he looked at me. He was like this. He's ready. He was like, I was like, yo. So you lucky I'm with these people, man. I ain't about to kill someone in France. Stay here, you know what I mean? So, I should.
Well, even Rotundo said about France, he didn't like France that much.
France is it's the people more than anything. I'm sure there's some nice things to see there, and they've got really good food.
Stunning scenery in certain places as well, but yeah.
Now, France is not nice down to people. And the last place is very controversial because I would actually like to go there, but I'm probably, it will be at the bottom of my list. I do want to go there. That's the thing. It's one of the worst places I probably wouldn't. It's the worst place I would like to go, if I can put it like that. So it's kind of like hypocritical. It's got like two double meanings. India.
I knew he was going to say that.
India. I really want to go to India, but I just think when you go to
the Penta Hotel, that's all.
India, man, first of all, you know you're going to get sick. You're getting sick when you go to India. You are getting they call it Delhi belly for a reason. If you go to India, you're getting sick. And I don't even like to be faced with that. And that's the only reason I haven't been to India at the moment, because I'm like, if I go there, I'm guaranteed to be sick. And I've asked everybody I've met who's been to India, was you sick? They're like, actually, come to think, I really was sick, man. I was like really bad for a few days. I was like, nah, I ain't going, man.
But that is your body getting used to the local
disease, bacteria disease,
microbes and stuff. That's the thing, though. You got to recognise that, and you're speaking about it earlier, Simon, when he says there's certain treasures and places in paradise that haven't been touched by man, and one of the consequences of that is that when we go to these places, we're taking germs that they don't encounter.
We did to Brazil, didn't we? We went in the Amazon and wiped out a whole tribe.
Yeah,
that's it. So you go to India and the local pathogen, what's going around, or the water supply, obviously it's not going to be as treated as Germany or the UK, where they're fully full of fluoride and kill everything, including the person drinking it. So you are going to be susceptible. And that's why you're supposed to have no salads when you go there, because you can wash it in water, but it's the same water that hasn't been treated.
Yeah.
You got to boil everything, and that way. I mean, my friend goes there 3 or 4 times. I mean, I've never said to him, "Oh, is your battery leaking when you come back?" I don't know, but
I bet you tell you. Yeah.
He goes there and he loves it, man. So I mean, obviously he's Indian as well, which he's got family in that. But he goes out into the bush, man. He don't go into the city. Now he goes out into the real India, man. So
yeah,
I'd like to go. I
think I'm gonna go, but I know for a fact it's gonna come with its consequences, man.
Take a packed lunch.
You put us in the favela in Brazil and you put us in Boys Town in Thailand. We use the consequences.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Boys Town.
Yeah, that's a story for another day, man. That's a story for another day. And so
it is on YouTube.
I do worry about you, Wayne. I mean, you're talking about some nice guy in California who didn't want you to leave. Simon saying you booked him into Boys Town. Was that when he got there before you, Simon?
Listen, he's just a man trying to get ahead in life, man. He's just trying to get ahead in life.
I'm trying to get ahead in life. I'm not trying to get ahead in life. Screw you, dude.
Quincy. I
ain't getting no ahead in life, man. Sack that.
Q, bro. It's all about the Q. Why is it Q?
Yeah, Q, man.
And on that note.
Yeah. I would say, obviously, Pakistan, China, not Pakistan, China.
Yemen, bro, the worst humanitarian disaster on record at the moment, man. Live slavery, getting bombed by the Saudis while we in America sell them weapons. It's absolutely disgusting.
There's a lot of places there I wouldn't want to be.
I'm doing a piece on that for Red Girl, so we'll talk about it all the time. I got 5% on my battery, geezer. Go.
We'll go anyway. Yeah, anyway, anyone got anything to promote? Quick.
Not yet, but I'm going to leave it there.
Nigel?
Not really, but things are going well. If anyone's struggling with their marketing, give us a shout. I'm working with quite a lot of clients at the moment. Just took out 3 new social media clients as well.
Boom!
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of finishing off an online course, which I managed to get 80% of the videos done today. It's got some editing, worksheets, ready by the end of September. So you'll be able to buy it and go through it.
Yeah, man. So, did you want to say something?
Yeah, firstly, I know that Nigel did a thing with Sam Day the other day, and I want to watch that. I heard that it's really insightful, so I look forward to hearing that.
It's on YouTube, man. Worth watching.
You have to look out for that because it looks like it's going to be a good thing too. Guys are really respecting the game, so anybody who's looking out for your advice, man, you did some marketing and want to bring your business to life, man. Speak to these guys, especially man Nigel, man. And last but not least, I did do an Igloo music podcast with an amazing indie band from Scotland called Amur. That's AMUR. Alstallio was with me. That was epic, 3 amazing tracks. So go and check that out on Facebook as well.
Do they play live?
They do play live, and that they only done some gigs around Glasgow, but they're really good, man. I'm telling you, they are amazing.
So was you playing their music on the podcast?
Yes, we played it. I'm not live, but we played the 3 tracks from their EP, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, geezers. Yeah, man. You know the drill. We're gonna keep coming. Next week we're gonna probably start a little sequence of trying to plug for a new 4th host, a female host. So we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be interesting.
We got one. She's lurking.
yeah, but she's too busy, man. So yeah, we'll have a look, man. Anyway, we'll see how it goes over the next couple of. Is Nigel looking out the window for the host?
Yeah, I can hear some wind, man.
Close your window. Yo, guys.
Some thunder and lightning thing going on.
We'll talk next week, man.
We're back together, guys.
Yeah, man.
What, man?
Yeah, man.